This is a full story. Kitten wishes you all a happy and enjoyable story. While getting intimate with my girlfriend, I found several kiss marks near the base of her thigh, red, bluish, and purple, but I had been away on a business trip for a week. I couldn't believe it, nearly burying my face under her to examine closely. The colors were clearly from the past few days. There was no mistake. My mind went blank, as if struck by lightning. My girlfriend grew impatient at my pause. Can you do it or not? You're so annoying. Coming back from a trip like some starved ghost, and not even letting me take a shower. I was still frozen in place, and she simply rolled off the bed, muttering to herself as she walked into the bathroom. I stayed there in shock and confusion, unable to recover for a long time. That night, she slept soundly beside me. I, however, didn't sleep at all. The next day, I drove her to work. She had been working for nearly 2 years, serving as the secretary to an executive at a company. I stared blankly ahead, while she kept her head down playing with her phone, saying nothing the entire way. She used to love sharing funny stories about her company, and we could talk endlessly. Now, unless I asked, she rarely spoke to me about those things. When did our relationship become so distant? More importantly, who was the man that had left those marks on her body? Anger surged in my chest, my hands gripping the steering wheel tightly. I knew all of her male colleagues. After thinking all night, none of them seemed likely. Just before we reached her office, a voice message suddenly came through on her phone. It was a middle-aged man's voice. "Lele, haven't you arrived yet? I need." She quickly cut it off. I glanced at her. She said casually, "Got to show the new intern the work process today. The general manager is rushing me. Drop me off here, I'll walk over." Something felt off, but I couldn't pinpoint what. It wasn't until she got out of the car that it hit me. Her boss had always called her Haley before. When did he start calling her Lele? In such an intimate way, my heart began to race. I had suspected everyone but her boss, her direct superior BAME. I had only met once at a company annual party. He was in his 50s, well-groomed, and supposedly quite reputable in the business world. The thought of this old man, I didn't dare finish the thought. They were alone in the office every day. Who knew what might happen? Besides, BAME's daughter was about the same age as my girlfriend. I nearly lost control right there, wanting to confront her, to ask if she had betrayed me, if she had an improper relationship with her boss. But I knew now wasn't the time for impulsiveness. I had to stay calm, investigate first. That night when she came home, I tried to hug her, but she deftly avoided it. "Baby, I'm exhausted from work today. I just want to shower and sleep." She tossed her phone casually on the sofa and went straight to the bedroom. At home, Haley had never been guarded. Her phone was always in sight, never hidden from me. If she were hiding something, she wouldn't be so careless. Late at night, when she was fast asleep, I slipped into the living room and searched her bag. Just as I guessed, she had another phone, suppressing my unease. I unlocked it on the second try. The moment I saw the WhatsApp messages, it felt as if I had fallen into an icy abyss. My limbs numb. "Compared to your wife, which do you prefer? That housewife bores me. Her figure's gone. I can't even feel interested. You're young and beautiful. You make me feel young again. Manager, you don't seem old at all. You're the perfect example of a mature man. And your stamina is incredible. You don't stop until I beg you to. That mouth of yours. You're as skilled in talking as in everything else. Which does the manager like more?" "Both. I like both very much. Next time I'll find a way to shut you up. You're too loud. I'm afraid someone will hear. I can't wait for our date this weekend. Oh, I bought a new lingerie set. You little minx. Don't drain your boss dry, or he'll give you a raise." Thousands of WhatsApp messages, each one like a slap across my face. I never imagined that the dignified, elegant Haley was so shameless with a man old enough to be her father. No wonder she had risen so quickly in the past year, from a regular clerk to an executive secretary, with her salary tripled. It wasn't hard work keeping her late every night. It was climbing into the bed of the powerful. I didn't understand. All these years, I had given her my whole heart. When she wanted to switch to a big company, her parents objected, thinking she should stay in a stable job. I supported her, helped with her resume, prepared her for interviews, even covered her living expenses for months after she quit. Yet behind my back, she complained about me. "He's a good man, but too mediocre. Sometimes I think he loves me too much. He has no ambition. His salary never improves. He never fights for promotion. And he doesn't know how to use my contacts. When my brother's business had trouble and needed to borrow money, he refused again and again." I shook with rage. "No passion. So you go seduce an old man. Your brother's neck deep in gambling debt. I'd be a fool to give him money." And that old man, when he talked about me, his tone was full of contempt. "What can he give you? His salary barely covers the mortgage and car loan. He won't even buy you a decent bag. You're young and beautiful. Should you really be stuck in such a petty life? With him, you'll always watch others live in mansions, while you struggle over groceries. I can't give you a title, but I can give you a career worth envy, and the best life." I finally understood. This old man saw himself as a successful man. Haley was his kept mistress, and I was the pathetic fool. It took me 5 hours to read everything, from shock to anger, to disappointment, to feeling utterly dead inside. My years of devotion, not worth more than a dog. Friday came. Haley dressed up carefully in front of the mirror, saying, "Same as usual today, I'll be home late. I responded with a flat She always said she had meetings on Friday nights, never returning before 11. But now I knew. They were never meetings. They were dates. Just imagining her coming home, after being with that old man, pretending to be loving with me, made me sick. Oh, by the way, my family's coming this weekend. We'll probably talk about our wedding again. Baby, I know my parents can be blunt, and their demands a bit much, but they're still my parents. For my sake, please agree to them, okay? I felt nauseous, spending my money, living in my house, cheating on me for so long, and now she dared to ask me to agree to their outrageous dowry demand. What did she take me for? I forced a smile. Sure, I'll pick them up at the station. As for their conditions, we can discuss them slowly. Only then did she smile sweetly, humming as she left. The moment she was gone, my face turned dark. I searched her company's website, finding the old man's profile. He was indeed prestigious, an executive at a listed company, board member in several industry associations, often traveling abroad for business, a real winner in life. I dug deeper into his background. His parents alive, his wife a shrewd businesswoman, his child studying overseas. Perfect. If I didn't ruin him, I wouldn't rest. That evening, I appeared at her office building. I asked a security guard, learned that Bame's office was on the 11th floor. Seeing the light still on, I sent a text from a new number to Bame's wife. Do you think you deserve Mr. Bame? Sitting at home all day as a housewife. Almost instantly, she called me. I hung up, texted again. Your husband says he's working late, but really he just doesn't want to see your face. He's too kind to tell you, but I feel bad for him. Better divorce him. Make room for someone younger and prettier. She couldn't get me to pick up, so she replied by text. Who are you? You bitch. What's going on between you and my husband? I didn't respond. I knew those two texts would rattle her. Sure enough, not long after, Bame rushed out of the office, straightening his suit and tie, speaking softly into his phone. Haley followed, trying to explain something, but he waved her off impatiently and walked quickly into the elevator, leaving her standing there in a daze. When I got home, I soon heard the key turn. Haley came in, her face dark. Work ended early. I asked, feigning concern. She mumbled an answer and went straight to the bedroom. I sneered in the living room. Haley always prided herself on being more beautiful than Bame's wife, but no matter how pretty the mistress, she couldn't compete with a single call from the wife. Men like him, high in status, care most about their reputation. That was fine. I had already set my plan in motion. Soon, he'd pay for what he had done. The next day, I met with Haley's parents. They lived not far from the city, about an hour's drive away. For the past 6 months, every meeting had been about marriage, dowry, house, and car. This time was no different. Her mother greeted me loudly. Yesterday, the neighbors married off their daughter. The wedding was grand, and the groom's family gave 388,000 yuan as dowry. 388,000. I just don't understand. Tell me, in education looks personality. What does our Haley lack compared to that girl? Haley's father shook his head. Far from enough. I sipped my tea in silence. Seeing I didn't respond, her mother's tone sharpened. Rocky, not only is Rian beautiful, she's also a graduate of a top university, now working as an executive assistant at a big company. We raised her so well. It wasn't easy. 50,000 as bride price. Adding her name to the house. That's not excessive at all. Do you know how many excellent men are lining up to meet her now? Haley sat beside her without a word, obviously agreeing with her mother. This family always boasted about how respectable her job was, yet never once mentioned how many strings I had to pull to get her into that company. The thought made my heart grow colder. I smiled. The two of you. I've discussed it with my parents these past 2 days. 50,000 for the bride price. That really won't do. The smiles on Haley's parents froze. Rian's face instantly changed, seeing her mother ready to put her hands on her hips and start shouting. I quickly explained. What I mean is, my family has decided. We'll give 1 million. What? How much? What did you say? Her mother shrieked, jumping to her feet, her arm knocking the table, the teacup nearly falling to the ground. Haley and her father looked at me in shock, as if they couldn't believe their ears. 1 million. I said seriously. Her mother was so excited she didn't know what to do. Her father opened his mouth, seemed like he wanted to speak, but didn't know what to say. I smiled, but inside I sneered. They were rushing for this marriage, only because that gambling addict younger brother owed another huge debt. Now that he was getting married, of course they'd want to scrape the money from me. I continued. As for this apartment, it doesn't matter whether Haley's name is on it or not. Before the wedding, I'll buy another school district apartment. That way she'll feel secure, and when we have children, it'll be useful for school. Haley's expression changed from shock to joy, her voice turning instantly syrupy. Baby, when we get married, I plan to change to a new car. The one I drive now isn't bad, but it's just for commuting. I've had it for less than 2 years. If Rian's younger brother needs it, he can use it anytime. Before I finished, her father was already carrying his wine over, enthusiastically putting his arm around me. Son, from the moment you and Rian met, I knew you were reliable. Handing my daughter to you, we're at ease. Please don't say that. that. I turned to Haley. As long as you treat me well, I'll treat you even better. Haley gazed at me affectionately. Her mother smiled, putting a turkey leg into my bowl and serving me a bowl of soup. We've talked so long. Come on, eat while it's hot. The whole family ate in harmony. I lowered my head to eat. No one saw the cold smile at the corner of my mouth. Laugh while you can. The more harmonious it is now, the more unbearable it will be when it all collapses. That night, Haley took the initiative to be affectionate. She wrapped her arms around my neck, softly saying, "Darling, you're the best man in the world." Human nature is pitiful like this. The more someone cherishes her, the more she feels free to hurt them, even thinking it's only natural. The next morning, she hid in the bathroom, sending messages to Bame. That night made me uncomfortable. "You must coax me." I don't know how Bame explained it to his wife that day, but my move to startle the snake did have some effect. Bame told Haley they had to be discreet at work for now. His wife was checking on him daily. Haley kept acting coquettish, sending him a few explicit selfies, finally persuading the old man to promise he'd help her win next quarter's sales championship. If she got that title, her promotion to manager would be almost certain. TSK, TSK, TSK. A naked trade of power and sex. For the next 2 weeks, Haley came home on time every day, helping me with housework. Our relationship seemingly better, but only on the surface. A few days later, Haley suddenly said she had to go on a business trip to attend an industry seminar. I cautiously tested. "How about I take leave and go with you?" She quickly waved her hand. "You're so busy at work. I'll just go to the station myself." The next day, she insisted on leaving alone, dragging her suitcase and taking a taxi. I immediately called another taxi to follow her. Sure enough, she didn't go to the station, but went straight to a 5-star hotel near the company. I waited outside patiently. After 7 in the evening, Bame appeared. He walked straight to the elevator. I pulled on my hat and mask, following him. From Haley and Bame's chat history, I knew he wouldn't recognize me. In the elevator, only the two of us. He pressed the 12th floor. I got off at 11. When his elevator door opened, I rushed up the emergency stairs to 12. Bame had just stepped out. I hid in the shadows, watching him enter a room. I pulled out my phone, dialed Hyatt Hotel 1208. Proceed as planned. 20 minutes later, 2 young men in suits arrived. They went straight to 1208. The fat one knocked lightly. "Hello, room service. All guests today receive a complimentary welcome package." The door opened. They rushed in, shutting the door behind them. Bame looked alarmed. "Aren't you delivering something? Hey, why are you filming? Put that phone away." Before he finished, the fat one slapped him hard. "Put away your sister." Bame's carefully styled hair was messy, his face darkening. "You, who are you? How dare you lay hands on me?" Another slap. "Lay hands on your sister." His glasses flew off. Realizing the situation was bad, he panicked, trying to sound calm. "We can talk this out. Don't hit me, or I'll call the police." "Talk it out with your sister." "Call the police with your sister." Several more hard slaps, forcing Bame back step by step, then a kick between the legs. Bame's face went pale. He curled up on the floor, mouth open, no sound, clearly in excruciating pain. They kept punching and kicking him for more than 10 minutes. Bame was nearly in tears. "What do you want? If you need money, I'll give it right now." The fat one squatted down, patted his face, spat on him. "Old man, you don't know what you've done. You still have the face to ask me. Tell me, that woman you met today, do you know she has a boyfriend?" Bame's pupils shrank. "You're her boyfriend." The fat one gave a cold smile, not answering directly. "Tell me, do you think it's unjust I hit you?" Bame fell silent. His eyes flickered, after a while squeezing out. "As long as this doesn't get out, any condition is fine. What can an old man like you give me? I'll transfer you money now. Name your price." The fat one swung his arm, slapping his head several times. "Do I look stupid? After I take your money, you'll call the police and say I extorted you, right?" Bame hurriedly begged for mercy. "I really didn't mean that. There's 10,000 in cash in my bag. You can take it." This company executive, usually so high and mighty, respected by all his subordinates, was now groveling before a young man. What a cruel irony. "Say to the camera, I'm scum. I shouldn't seduce someone else's girlfriend. I'm a lowlife. The fat one raised his hand. Bame quickly obeyed. "I'm scum. I shouldn't seduce someone else's girlfriend. I'm a lowlife." Satisfied, the fat one smiled. A woman's scream came from behind. The camera turned toward the sound. Haley's panicked face appeared. She stood in the bathroom doorway, only a bathrobe covering her, long legs exposed. "Who are you? Who let you in?" Bame realized something was wrong. "Haley, they're not." One of the men said. "Oh, isn't this 1208? The cameraman said. "Check the room card. It says 1218. The fat one quickly apologized. "So sorry. Wrong room." Haley's anger exploded. "What's wrong with you? Even if you got the wrong room, you still hit someone. I'm calling the police." The fat one sneered. "Suit yourself. Ryan, don't say anything. Let them go." Bame hurried to smooth things over, desperate to bury the incident. The fat one turned to Bame, giving him a thumbs up. "This your girlfriend?" Haley snapped. "None of your business. Get out." As the fat one passed her, he said casually, still acting so arrogant as a mistress, "If you two were innocent, why would he be so scared?" Haley's face went instantly pale. The video ended there. The fat one said said to me, that kick should be enough to keep him in line for a month. Also, here's the 10,000 from his bag. I nodded. Keep it. It wasn't for nothing I'd arranged for these two in advance, telling them not to cripple him, just to record everything. Even if Bame was innocently beaten, he wouldn't dare make it public. This loss, he'd have to swallow. The next day, Haley came back, dark circles under her eyes, clearly from lack of rest. She'd spent the night at the hospital caring for that man, running around exhausted. But now she sprawled on the sofa like a queen, ordering me to pour water, massage her. The trip was so tiring. I haven't eaten. Darling, order me sushi. Wishful thinking. After a week of playing the affectionate boyfriend, it was time to change the script. I picked a fight. I saw you flirting with the delivery guy. That's your idea of manners. I sneered. Haley shook with anger. Are you crazy? Jealous over a few words. Jealous. I'm embarrassed. You're always flirting. What do you think you look like? She froze. She'd never seen me talk like this. Rocky, what do you mean? Her eyes reddened. You know exactly what I mean. I've supported you for years. And you, no sense of boundaries. Supported me. Haley was instantly provoked. She pulled up her bank transfers. 40,000. 1 year's tuition. Here, take it back. And don't say disgusting things like that again. She grabbed her suitcase, slamming the door. Repaying tuition. Ignoring years of food, clothing, and fun. Still, getting anything back was better than nothing. That night, her mother called, cautiously asking, did you two argue? Haley says she won't get married. I stayed silent. Since the bride price talk, her parents had done a complete 180 in attitude toward me. Haley's had countless suitors since she was young, but in her eyes there's only you. She's such a good girl. A good girl. One who sends explicit photos to a married man in the middle of the night, letting him go home covered in hickeys. Auntie, I just lost my temper. I replied perfunctorily. That's good then. Once you both calm down, everything will be fine. Before, any argument ended with me apologizing, bringing gifts. This time, I refused to bow my head, proud as she was, with no way to back down. She never came back. Perfect. Peace at last. My parents worried about me every day. They kept calling, hoping I could get over it and pull myself together soon. Bame had taken a beating and swallowed his anger. I didn't know how he was now. It was time to prepare his next surprise. I went on a shopping platform, bought 2 boxes of imported condoms, and had them sent to Bame's house. The recipient's name on the package was his wife. Sorry, original wife. This was all for creating the most exciting plot. The day the package arrived, I got up early on purpose. Haley had mentioned before that today the company would receive a group of foreign clients for a visit. Before leaving home, I sent a message to Bame's wife. Sister-in-law, did you get the gift? Remember to have President Bame try out the new toy tonight. President Bame always complained that you only gave birth to a useless daughter and regretted never having a son. When I use these gifts to give him a chubby baby boy, he'll have to call you elder sister. Shameless thing. Who are you? Want to know who I am? Come to the company and you'll find out. I dressed carefully and slipped into the company building. I happened to see a group of foreign clients, accompanied by the general manager's assistant and several department heads for a tour. Many employees followed behind. I quietly blended into the back of the group unnoticed. This is the new project department personally led by President Bame. He and his team have made many breakthroughs this year. Please come in. Standing beside the display platform, Haley wore a professional suit. Catching the foreigner's eyes immediately, 2 female employees whispered beside me, look at Sister Ryan. She's dazzling today. No wonder she's our company's image representative. She's not just beautiful. Her performance is top-notch, and her sales skills are first class. I heard President Bame has extremely high standards for his subordinates. Only she can get his favor. She's a winner in life. Makes people so jealous. Haley spoke with elegance and confidence. The foreign clients nodded repeatedly in approval. Bame stood off to the side, looking smug. Dirty old man. Let's see if you can still smile later. The meeting room entrance was packed with employees watching the commotion. I deliberately shoved my way in from the outer edge of the crowd and shouted loudly, don't push. Stand still. The crowd stirred. A stack of papers suddenly scattered across the floor, flying everywhere at least 40 or 50 sheets. Whose documents are these? Everyone stopped and looked down. This doesn't look like documents. Looks like chat logs. Several people bent to pick them up. When they saw the contents, they were stunned. The general manager's assistant looked displeased. What's going on? Hurry up and pick these up. What a disgrace. An employee awkwardly handed him a sheet. Director, you should take a look at this. Hidden in the crowd, I smiled quietly to myself. Finally, the moment I'd been waiting for. I had carefully selected the most explicit chat records between Haley and Bame and printed them out. Pressed you against the office window, taking you hard from behind. I'm training new staff now, don't do that. Last night in the office you were so proactive, little temptress. Did you steal my heart? They say President Bame never smiles. Who knew he's such a flirt in private? That old shrew is urging me home for dinner, but I only want to taste you. As long as you get me a a few big orders. You can have me anytime, anywhere. There were far more conversations just like this. To make the gossip juicier, I also included some internal company secrets. A vice president visiting clubs for fun. A certain manager divorced long ago. The general manager's assistant childless by choice due to infertility. Every detail had been revealed by Bame to Haley. The assistant's face grew darker as he read. The two people involved were stunned. Haley's face turned pale instantly. Her body swayed. Bame froze on the spot, but in just a few seconds, the old fox regained composure and even feigned outrage. This is fabricated. Someone is trying to smear me and my employee. The crowd murmured among themselves. Months of chat logs who would go to such trouble to fake them. Some still defended Bame and Haley, claiming this was a setup. Haley began to sob at the perfect moment. Already delicate and pitiable, her tears made her even more heartbreaking. Colleagues rushed to comfort her. Don't be sad, Ryan. Who would believe such rumors? If I find the bastard who smeared you, I'll break his legs. The foreign clients looked confused. The assistant was mortified. All right, enough. Clean this up. President Bame you. Before he could finish, a slightly plump, middle-aged woman burst in from the door. She rushed straight at Haley, grabbed her hair, and slapped her hard. So it's you slut. Seducing my husband. Shameless, shameless, shameless. The woman struck Haley with punches and kicks, catching her completely off guard. Her fair cheeks swelled red instantly. Haley screamed in pain. The employees finally reacted, pulling them apart. The woman then turned to the frozen Bame. Bame, if you don't want to be with me, just say it. You keep this homewrecker and let her strut around the company. Do you think I'm easy to bully? I worked hard to give you a child, and this is how you treat me. You don't even deserve to be a father. Just the sight of you two makes me sick. The wife's sudden arrival pushed the situation to its peak. The two female employees who had admired Haley earlier were now speechless in shock. This is insane. Something like this happening in our company. My hands are shaking. This gossip is too much. No wonder the rumors have been so wild. Look, they looked back at Haley and Bame. Haley was sobbing uncontrollably, almost collapsing. The colleagues who had been comforting her now quietly stepped away. Bame's face was dark as iron, still insisting, "You've been deceived. Stop spouting nonsense." I watched and smiled inwardly. This was exactly the effect I wanted. To expose this pair in front of everyone. I turned to leave, ready to set up an even better show for tonight. At 8:30 that night, Haley's house was full of people. Her parents, her brother, his girlfriend, relatives, neighbors, classmates, friends. I had called them all. Her mother proudly boasted to everyone, "My son-in-law is so generous. He promised Haley a new apartment, and the bride price is huge. Guess how much?" She held up one finger. 10,000. Her mother shook her head. 1 million. A chorus of gasps filled the room. "Sis, you and your husband are so lucky. Such a generous son-in-law and such a capable daughter. You'll live in comfort from now on." Her parents grew even more pleased under the envious looks. I spoke gently. "To marry such a wonderful girl. I'm truly blessed." Then Haley's best friend shouted, "Haley's back." The moment the door opened, I knelt on one knee and held up a diamond ring. "Ryan, I'm sorry. I've reflected deeply these past days. You're the one I want to spend my life with. I should have cared for you, supported you, and protected you. How could I let you be sad? From now on, I will cherish you and never let you be hurt again. Marry me." Haley was stunned. After hearing me out, she stood frozen at the door, eyes red, face slightly swollen. "Say yes, say yes." The room cheered. Haley covered her mouth and cried. "She's too moved. Ryan, hurry and say yes." Under the growing chants, she was on the verge of nodding when my phone rang at the worst possible moment. Okay, I hung up, looking puzzled. Someone said they knew about today's proposal and specially prepared a surprise for us. They sent it to my email and insist we look at it right now. Her mother frowned. "Who makes trouble at a time like this?" I turned to Haley. "They said they're from Apex Tech, and you know them." At the mention of Apex Tech, her whole body trembled. I smiled. "Since it's your colleague, maybe they made a blessing video. Why don't we play it on the TV for everyone?" Everyone thought it was a good idea. The TV was quickly turned on. Haley panicked. "Rocky, let's not." As if I'd listen. This was the revenge moment I'd been preparing for. I opened my email, found the message, and clicked play. At once the room filled with intimate voices. "Baby, are you really going to get a divorce?" "Don't worry, baby. Once I settle things at home, I'll be with you. Do you promise?" "Of course. When have I ever lied to you?" On screen, Haley and a middle-aged man embraced closely in an office. The room fell silent. The short video was enough to shock everyone present. All eyes turned to the trembling Haley. She was ashamed beyond words, murmuring, "No, it's not me. It's not me." I turned to her without expression. Haley suddenly lunged forward, grabbing my hand tightly, pleading with a sob in her voice. "My dear, believe me, that video is fake." I shoved her away hard, shouting in anger, "Stop pretending. Isn't that middle-aged man your company's general manager?" Bam! The room fell into an uproar. Haley cried even harder. "No wonder you work overtime every night until late. No wonder wonder you've grown colder to me. So it's because you've been hooking up with an old man. And right in the office. Haley, you've really let me down. I turned to leave when Haley's mother suddenly grabbed me tightly from behind. Rocky, there must be some misunderstanding. The relatives and friends in the room looked unbearably awkward, one by one making excuses to leave. Haley's brother suddenly said, "Isn't there that deep fake technology now? Someone must be framing Haley." Her parents seized the chance. "That's right. It must be like that. Haley is so outstanding. Someone could easily be jealous of her. She would never do something to betray you." I said wearily, "Uncle, Auntie, please stop. I need some time alone." Without heeding their attempts to block me, I forced my way out of their house. Not far down the road, I heard shouts and the sound of beating from inside. How could I have given birth to such a shameless thing? With so many people there just now. By tonight, the whole circle will know your disgrace. That man is old enough to be your father. How could you? I had waited a whole month for this day. Watching Haley and Bame exposed in public, I felt a rush of vengeful satisfaction. Back home, I sent all of their WhatsApp chats and the office video to Apex Tech's chairman's email, the HR department, the ethics committee, every address I could find. In my anonymous report, I accused Bame and his secretary of having an improper relationship and suggested the company immediately launch an investigation into abuse of position and corruption. This time, I would make sure Bame couldn't get away with it. The next morning, before I was even awake, Haley's parents came to my home without warning. Luckily, I had been cautious and changed the door code last night. They tried several times without success, then kept pounding on the door. "Rocky, we know you're in there. Let Uncle and Auntie come in and talk. We brought you something." Last night, I suddenly opened the door. Haley's mother froze mid-gesture, her father holding a pile of miscellaneous items. Behind them stood Haley, fresh injuries on her face, her cheeks swollen high. "Rocky, you've always been kind-hearted. If you're angry, you can hit or scold her today. We won't say a word. You've been together so long. With such a good relationship, how can you just break it off?" I couldn't be bothered to respond, and dragged 2 suitcases to the doorway. "These are Haley's things. Take them with you." The 3 of them stood frozen. "But, you," I slammed the door shut hard, ignoring the noise outside. Haley's mother begged for a long time, but when I stayed silent, she exploded, shouting at her daughter in the hallway. "What the hell are you doing with your life? You useless thing. Raising you is a waste of effort." Haley finally snapped. "Enough. Isn't this all because you want to use my dowry to pay my brother's gambling debts? You treat me like your ATM. All these years, other than cleaning up his mess, what else have I done for you? You never say a word when he gambles, but now you're playing the good guy. You've got some nerve. I'll teach you a lesson." The family brawled in the hallway until the neighbors cursed them out. Haley's parents still wouldn't give up. Every few days, they came to tell me how Haley regretted it, wanted to change, even felt suicidal. In the end, I blocked all contact with them. A few days after my report to Apex Tech, Haley suddenly appeared at my door. I came home from work, and the moment she saw me, she tried to throw herself into my arms. I dodged. "Rocky, please don't be like this. He's the general manager. I'm just a regular employee. My job was in his hands. I had nowhere else to turn. I swear, nothing happened that day in the office. I've been true to your heart." Haley cried like a tragic heroine. She almost pulled it off. If I hadn't remembered those explicit chat logs, I cut her off coldly, uttering just one word: leave. Apex Tech's announcement didn't take long. Bame and his secretary's improper relationship was confirmed, with solid evidence. Bame admitted to using his position to give Haley special favors, accepting bribes, and other serious violations of company policy. In the end, Bame was fired from Apex Tech and stripped of his executive qualification. The news caused a huge stir inside the company, even though management tried to suppress it. The video of the wife storming into the office and the explicit WhatsApp chats spread through every department. Bame's reputation, built over years in business, was ruined overnight. As for his wife, rumor had it she'd already had several rounds of fierce divorce negotiations. Bame now had to cooperate with the company investigation, while also dealing with the mess at home. In just 2 weeks, he looked 20 years older. I felt no guilt. He betrayed his family, wrecked someone else's marriage, toyed with a subordinate, played office power games. He deserved everything he got. As for Haley, she had no face left to stay at the company. Once the admired top graduate from a prestigious school, she was now the notorious other woman. The next time I heard about Haley was 6 months later at a friend's dinner. After 2 months of laying low, she began going on frequent blind dates, hiding the fact she'd been fired, claiming she had resigned of her own will. She only targeted wealthy, middle-aged men over 40. Someone said, "Those rich old men are sharp. They know exactly what a pretty woman is after, and many of them just play along for fun. Who takes advantage of who is never certain." I shook my head silently. Haley and her parents were still the same, always wanting something for nothing. Let them be. It had nothing to do with me anymore. The end. If you like Kitten's story, please follow and like it. Updated every morning at 9 a.m.